What up, guys? Welcome to episode number 2, Wheelie Wednesdays. Today we're gonna ride this bad beaut. I'm gonna kind of talk about the bike, explain what we do and why we do the things we do to it. Of fucking course. So she's dead. And I'm not gonna be able to pop start it in my fucking garage. God damn it. Ugh. Fuck. So I gotta pop start my bike to get it loaded up. It's gonna not really grab traction on these fucking leaves, so I might have to go out to the street. I'm gonna try once here. My shit does not roll good in gear, so I have to throw it in neutral, pop it in gear. Yeah, that's not gonna fucking work. All right, well, looks like we're going to the street. Well, Wheelie Wednesday is off to a great start so far. Come on, first try, come on, first try, come on, first try. Almost. Oh, car coming. Fuck me. Fuck, almost. God damn it. All right, I'm pushing it up the hill. Oh yeah. Got him. Off. Woo, woo, woo. Back tire almost slipped off the ramp. Yep, doing a fucking burnout. No. Alright. Whoa, shit. So my bike wants to fucking slip off. That's sketchy as fuck. So I gotta turn my truck around. I'm gonna park at that hill so it's not as much of an incline for my bike to go up. Oh! Off to a great start today! Really off to a fucking great start. God damn it. Park it this way so that it's actually putting the weight on the kickstand. I swear I know how to do this, guys. Alright. I'm gonna move my truck around real quick and then try this again. Alright, well now it's way lower. Hopefully this will work. And it won't do a burnout. Doing a burnout again. There we go. Well, we loaded it. Fucking hooray. Alright, time to gas up and get to the fucking spots.
Come on. Well, luckily I didn't have to pop start my bike. She fired right up, which is nice. So as I warm up the bike, I'm gonna warm up my dog and help her get some energy out. Cause she's been cooped up in the rain for too long. Let's go, Colette. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm gonna give you guys a walkthrough of my big bike. So as you can see, we dent in the tanks. This is so we can do tank wheelies like Capone right here is showing, where you're sitting on the gas tank, legs out, spreader, or we'll do legs over for high chairs. Second, you'll see I have a hole in my rear seat. This is for certain tricks so I can put my foot back here. Back in the day we didn't have the plate. You just stepped on the soft seat and it works, but this is just way more stable, so we started doing that. We got the scrape bar, a little titanium square, so for doing a wheelie, throwing a scrape, throwing the sparks, it's always nice. Me, this is one of the key things I've always had, is tail saver. These tail sections aren't really that strong, and doing seat standards where we're standing on our seats, we usually crunch the plastic up and fucking destroy it, so having something metal and solid to stand on is nice. We got the aftermarket rear sets and pegs, just beefy. These things on stock on a bike are usually super fragile, and as soon as you touch the ground they will just break, so these are amazing to have. We got the crash cage. If you drop your bike, which you've already seen me do twice, saves your bike from, ooh, what's that? Saves your bike from breaking a case and fucking up your engine. The Stunt Stay. This is all metal. That's not a plastic windscreen. That's metal. We do this because usually like the stays that come on the bike are plastic, and when you set down a wheelie, over time they start breaking. So your whole front end will come off. This thing's beefed up, not gonna break off. The handbrake. So this is for a rear brake. The handbrake belongs on top of the clutch, not underneath. If you see someone riding with a handbrake underneath the clutch, tell them they're a squid and they're doing it wrong. If you're riding with a handbrake underneath your clutch, guess what? You're a squid. You're doing it wrong. Nah, everyone has their own preference. I've been riding like that since I started. To me, it's the best way to ride. There's about 1% of the stunt community that does it like that, and we're the 1%ers. We're right. I got aftermarket clip-ons, so you can change the height, the degree, everything. I like my clip-ons a little lower. You'll see some guys with ape hangers, they like it up high. Personal preference. That's the great thing about these bikes, is you can set them up a million different ways. So that's a little walkthrough of my bike. Alright, I'm gonna put my dog away and start riding. Come on. Place, get up there. Alright, let me just warm up and do some wheelies now. So I haven't rode this bike in a hot minute. I shipped it from California to St. Louis for ROC, and then it was on a nice journey, so I basically hadn't rode it from September. I rode it in ROC in September, and then I didn't get my bike back till the last weekend of October, and then drove straight to Atlanta, so I haven't really got much seat time. When I got here, I did a show with Rodney, which was super fun, but I mean, I rode for 10 minutes, so don't really consider 10 minutes any seat time. I'm stoked to live in Atlanta now and live next to this big ass fucking parking lot. That's pretty amazing. It makes me pretty happy. Alright, let me go for a hand stall. Concentration. Oh! Bike almost stalled out. Alright, one more rotation.
Well, we got kicked out of that parking lot, so I decided to drive around and I found this spot. Pretty fucking massive. Let's see how long this lasts. The guys were cool. There's I guess that building, people have been riding there for over 10 years. And I guess these people just signed a lease on the building and they don't want our kind there. So we got asked to leave. They were nice about it. They said, hey, will you guys leave so we don't have to call the cops? Super nice about it. So we'll see how long this place lasts for. You ready? Go get it. Place. There you go. Alright, let's ride. Let's test this spot out.
And now I'm just gonna ride. I'm gonna kind of do some tricks, explain to you guys what the name of the trick is, and just kind of do that, yeah. Well, I have fun at this in the process. I'm sure most of you guys that are watching this right now have seen plenty of people ride motorcycles. You've seen plenty of people do wheelies. You might not know the names for all the tricks. So this is a good way to learn all the names and So as I was explaining earlier, we dented our gas tank so we can sit in it. As you can see, my homie Capone right here doing a spreader. This is one of my favorite tricks. Growing up in St. Louis, watching guys do this, this was always one of my favorite tricks to watch, and it's one of my favorite tricks to do. So I really like to see the leg up extension, lean back. I'm a fan of that. Right now I'm in seat stander. And now I got foot in seat. So earlier we were talking about, I was showing you guys how I got the hole in my rear seat. As you can see right now, my foot's in there. It's a great place. With my feet up here, I get good stabilization, but the more I spread out on my bike like this, and the farther away I get from my bike, the more control I have of it. The closer I get, the more tight I get, it gets unstable. So a lot of my tricks, I like to go around stuff, get really close to stuff. So the more control I have on my bike, just makes things easier. So I really like this. This is one of my go-tos. If you ever see me circling around an object or a person, I'm usually in this stance with my foot in the back seat and my left foot on the passenger peg. It seems like I just got some of the best control in that position. So this is a GoPro Fusion, one of my favorite cameras to get outside perspective, basically. I'm gonna put this on my helmet, do a couple wheelies to show you guys what this thing can do. That's the extension on it. That's not much. But when you see the video, you'll think there's a camera. You'll basically think there's a drone above me. All right, let's show a spreader fusion style. Alright, now I'm just walking around, no throttle hand. So we run our idle pretty high on stunt bikes so we can basically let go of our throttle. It's nice for no throttle hand tricks, it's nice for no hand tricks. And honestly, it just makes a wheelie smoother because there's always that little bit of input in the throttle. Even if you're letting off power, your bike's still giving throttle input. So over time, we learned to ride like this. It's definitely not something, if you don't know how to wheelie or you don't have brake control, definitely not something you want to do, because what's going to happen is the bike's going to basically outpower you and just take off without you. So learning, don't do it. If you got wheelies down, got brake control down, start working on idle. It's one of the first tricks we really, as a stunner, we try to get brake control. Well, this is back in the day. I don't know how they do it now, but when I learned how to ride, the first thing I wanted to do was learn how to use the brake, how to save a wheelie using brake. After that, I worked on idle, basically clutching up from a dead stop and walking the bike around. And the way you know that you're definitely doing it is you let off the throttle. Back then I would just kind of do this. I would just hover over the throttle. Now, I mean, I can do whatever. I can walk it. I know I can feel when the bike's about to lose it, just like that, and I just grab the throttle and go again. So the second thing I worked on was, well, I guess that'd be the third. So the third trick I worked on was coasters. When you go in, pull the clutch in, and coast. It's like using brake control for the idle. It's the same thing. You want to barely use brake. So that was number 3. So those are really the basic tricks for learning. Over time, you start learning other tricks. You really start working on clutch control. To be able to ride and save a wheelie by using clutch, or even just take a second, like, oh, if the bike gets too high, we pull in the clutch to drop it down. So I'm going to do that again. I'm giving too much brake, so the bike's getting too tall, so it wants to stall. I pull in the clutch, drop the nose. It's all these little things that you learn over time. I want to give a shout out to my boy Killer Cam. He finally tried a trick that I've been trying to get him to do forever. So basically, like I was explaining clutch work to you guys earlier. So we use the clutch a lot to like stall out like this. And you see that second of my bike just sitting still, my clutch is in, I'm not giving throttle. I like to hit the rev limiter when I do that. So you have to hit it quick because you still have to clutch out and keep your wheelie up. So I'll stall.
hit the rev limiter, and then keep riding off. My boy Killer Cam finally tried it. Thank fucking God, 2018. And he's not really on the rev limiter. His sounds like a pussy one like this. But eventually that dude's gonna be like on the rev limiter like this. He's a killer. Killer Cam, this one's for you. Yeah! Let's load the bike up and go grab dinner with friends. All right, off. Off. Good girls. Okay, see? Way easier to load when it's not wet. All right, I'll load it up. I'm gonna go meet my homies for dinner. I really hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It's a little different than my first one. Riding in a parking lot, trying to explain tricks and such. If you guys enjoyed it, I really appreciate it if you guys like the video, subscribe. My goal is to post a new video every Wednesday. Drop it, drop it. So my goal is to post a new video every Wednesday. Hopefully the weather lets me go outside and do cool shit. If it doesn't, I'm gonna try to figure out stuff to do and still stay entertaining. Every Wednesday, Wheelie Wednesdays, that's my goal. Once it warms up a little bit more, I'm gonna be doing some skydiving vlogs. Really excited about that. It's gonna be fun to explain that world to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys that follow me already are following me because of motorcycles. There are some that follow me because of skydiving. I'm going to explain both worlds. I'm going to introduce the skydiver to the motorcycles and the motorcycle riders to the skydive world. As always, have a good week, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week. We're out. You ready? We're out. Let's go. Let's go.